morning, this is NorthRanger, and today we're starting our series on Heroes and Generals. Most of you have probably already heard of it, but it's a free-to-play World War II FPS slash RTS kind of game. I'm going to be focusing on the FPS portion of it first because that's all that I've unlocked. You have to get to a certain point in the game before it allows you to start playing the strategy layer. I shouldn't say RTS, it's not really an RTS from what I've seen. I haven't tried it out yet, but I will be able to show you guys that soon. So the FPS portion of the game is completely objective based. You don't win by running around shooting everybody in the head, although it is helpful. Basically, this objective I'm pulling up to here, I'm going to jump out and capture it. All of them, I think, are little radio stations. You just stand by it, you'll see a little counter show up in the top there with your guys, and if enemies show up, then it kind of works as a bit of a balance system because their number will show up on the other side, and if you have more, then you will keep capturing it. But if the enemy has the same numbers as you, it just basically halts your capture of that point. So you don't have to go in and kill whoever is trying to capture a point if you're trying to stop them. You just need to be there within that capture radius and wait for some of your buddies to show up. So what we're showing right now, we're going to be doing some armored gameplay. The tank I'm using is actually the first tank that you unlock after the starter tank. It's alright, it's the first one that has an actual cannon on it. The other one, as you can see driving past up there, was a little two-turret machine gun kind of tank. It's not terrible, but I want to show an actual tank. And this one is actually a tank. So the game on a whole is, it's pretty good. I've put a little bit of time into it. I haven't spent any money on it, and I'm not going to, unless I get to the point that, as with all free-to-play games, you get frustrated to hell because you can't advance without paying money, and then I might end up spending a small amount. I will tell you if I do, but I might end up spending a small amount, especially trying to get to the strategy layer of the game, because I think it would be interesting and vital to people who are thinking about trying it out. I've enjoyed what I've played so far. As I said, I got up high enough. I think I'm rank 3 right now on this profile, and that unlocked this tank for me, and various other things. I also have an infantry character that I'll show you later. And I'm just going to kill this tank here. Almost. The tanks in this are kind of neat. You end up on this one, which is the M5A1 Stuart. You get a few different types of ammo that you kind of have to buy with the in-game currency. It's got like a restocking kind of mechanic. It prevents people from, with a lot of the handheld weapons, from just buying the most damaging ammunition you can get and just using it all the time, because that'll deplete your in-game currency that you gather pretty quickly. That's one of the aspects that kind of balances things out between the free players and the people who pay money, because obviously there are two different kinds of subscriptions, and you can use either one of them, but you gain in-game currency at a decent rate. I haven't really had any need to spend money on the gold currency. The ammunition I'm using here is the better of the two different types that you can unlock for this tank in terms of armor piercing, stuff that you want to use against other vehicles. Number 2 there, you just hit the number keys and switch between them. So I'm on number 1. If I wanted to switch to number 2, which are my high explosive shells for against infantry, you switch over and it'll reload and you can fire those. It keeps track of which ones you use up, and at the end of the match you have to either restock them or you can set it up automatically to restock at the end of each match, and it'll tell you how much it spends on that. Number 3 over there is my coaxial machine gun, which I already took out a couple guys with it. It's really handy. As a tanker, one of your biggest threats is going to be infantry, and having that just kind of, it allows you to deal with threats without having to switch over to the high explosive tank rounds, which I haven't found very useful, so I don't use it much. And the way that infantry is a threat to you, basically as a tank, your view is very restricted if you're inside of your tank. As you can see, you get the zoomed in view here that you can use to shoot targets that are kind of far away, like this guy. There we go. And you get this view, which is kind of the visor on the front of your turret. You can see a lot better, and it's not zoomed in really, so you can kind of steer better with it. But it's not great. As you can see, it's like maybe a third of your screen, if that. And infantry, because you won't see them coming very often, there's always going to be one or two in a group of infantry that's going to have one of the anti-tank weapons, or he's going to have landmines he's going to put down like right beside you. Things like that, or you can have people just standing around near you, just waiting for you to pop your head out of your hatch, which you can do. It's a third-person view. Oh, we got a guy on a bicycle running around here, ringing his bell. Oh, trying to get with my coax. I jumped out. Yeah, I forgot I don't actually have the SMG on this guy anymore. I replaced it with the wrench there. So I can take this guy with my coax just fine. The turret is really fucking slow to rotate, so it's not great against infantry once they get close to you. That's why I tend to hang back behind a lot of the infantry, help them defend the point, whatever. I mostly focus on vehicles. So infantry, if they get behind you, are going to be a pain in the ass. Because like I said, there's always going to be that one guy who's there specifically to kill you. He's there to take out tanks. You get a lot of bonus experience for it. It's almost a better alternative than running and capturing point. You do get a lot more experience for capturing points than you do for killing people. But you get a lot of points for taking out tanks as well. And it's very helpful to your team because obviously one tank in a good location can just wreck a lot of people. Alright, so some of our infantry has moved up to the next capture point up here, just across a bridge. So me and another guy were sitting in a field. There's another tank to my right. I'm just going to support them as well as we can. That's basically what you want to be doing as a tank. If you run off by yourself, they're going to kill you. We haven't seen a lot of enemy tanks yet in this. And that's great, because our infantry is out dealing with their tanks, and some infantry is capturing this point, so we're going to support them as best we can. Pretty sure he just died back there. But we're going to take out whatever enemy infantry we can from out here, and try to keep ourselves safe. We don't want to get up into that town until there's infantry there to help defend us. Just going to have a look around, see if we can tell where the rest of our team is. I think there's some enemy vehicles cruising past us. Still don't see any enemy tanks advancing on this spot, so that's good. Good news for my infantry anyway. There, we got a guy. See, that was with the anti-tank rounds as well. I don't see a whole lot of point to the high explosive rounds. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with them. With these tanks, when you're zoomed in, you can sometimes just shoot guys right in the head with anti-tank rounds. So my buddy's getting taken out over there. Alright, so obviously, they figured out where we are. I'm going to drive around a little bit, see if I can figure out where the tank is that took that guy out. Alright, well, no luck there, but I haven't gotten engaged by the enemy tanks. I'm just going to take a look. Oh, so there's a enemy jeep just sitting here, so obviously somebody's inside the building. Might as well just take the vehicle out. We get bonus 10 experience points just for taking out enemy vehicles, and they obviously can't jump back out of the building and use it again. So I never did see where that tank was that took out my buddy. I'm going to assume that he can't see me though, because if he could, I'd already be getting shelled. Let me take a look around. And what's going on right now is you can see on the left of my screen the little O2 symbol there. See, it's filling up the circle around it with blue. Means my guys are retaking that objective, and in this the objectives are kind of linear. So you got to capture the one before each objective in order to capture the next one. This little town that we had started to capture, we then lost all progress because the enemy got behind us and either neutralized or captured O2. So we got to retake O2, and me and a couple infantry guys are up just waiting for that one to be retaken. And once it is, we can once again start working on this little town village here.
Starting to see some enemy armor. They're over harassing my guys that are capturing O2. So we'll see if I can maybe get a couple long shots on this guy. So he's just going over the other bridge that's over there. As you can see, the spawning mechanic in this is really good. It's not like Battlefield where you aim anywhere and just keep tapping Q or E, whatever the hotkey is, and it comes up with a little marker. You gotta aim at somebody for 3 full seconds before it'll actually detect the oak. Let's see what I can do with the machine gun here. Yeah, so you can see it popped up on that vehicle as well. The little diamond is any enemy vehicle. Could be anything from a jeep to a tank, as you just saw. Those tanks had the same marker. And the infantry has the little battlefield Dorito, if you want to call it that. Basically the same, little inverted triangle. Just means that it's infantry. I think bicycles also show up like that. And there we go. Our infantry guy captured this objective over here. What, A3, I believe. So I'm going to move into the town. I'm relatively sure it's safe of any enemy infantry now. Just going to see if I can peek around this corner, because there was enemy armor over here. There's a second bridge just downstream here. It's a rail truss. I don't see any. I'm going to be kind of cautious. I'm not just going to jump out up like that guy. Just right straight out over the bridge. I'll let him go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're definitely getting engaged there. Let's see what I can find. There we go. You'll find a lot of times the smoke from your rounds will help to kind of silhouette enemy vehicles if you can't quite see them because it's too dark. I got one of them. There's a second one who's already smoking black smoke up here. I'll hit him again. See, I can't really see him. Oh, no, we got him anyway. Once they get down to the point, like my tank here, you can see the health is red as I'm repairing it. It means it's blowing out black smoke. People can see it for a long ways away, and your tank's actually on fire. It'll keep damaging itself, which I think is what happened to the other guy, why he died after I had shot him. So yeah, if you have the wrench, you can jump out and start repairing it. Let's just repair it a little. There's a friendly jeep coming. Oh, it's an enemy! Nice, there's a friendly jeep and an enemy jeep. Obviously, I'm an idiot and I didn't see that. But the respawn, you can, if your tank is still there and nobody else has taken it over yet, I have a gunner in there, but nobody took over as the driver. I can just spawn right back on it and continue where I was. And hopefully keep an eye out for enemy jeeps this time. Right, so this is a little bit later in that same match. Guys have just taken this little objective here. Oh, shit, okay. I'm getting shot at by a tank. I can't really see him. I can kind of see the tracers where he's coming from. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm down the red now. I'm going to hop out. Hope I can try to repair it a little. No. Nope, it's gone. He's going to kill me too unless I hide. So I can't. Oh, I'm getting shot from behind. You're kind of helpless as a tank driver. If your tank gets destroyed, you probably shouldn't do what I just did, which is hop out and either try to fight the enemy infantry that's near you or try to repair your tank, because it's probably too late for you. But I tried anyway. It's kind of a bad habit. So in this, I'm waiting in the deploy queue. Basically, it keeps the enemy teams from having too many people spawned in all at the same time. Just gotta wait for one guy on my team to die, and then it'll give me my spawn selection. Apparently my guys are doing really well and nobody's dying, so that's kind of bittersweet. Alright, so now that I can spawn... Oh, okay. Yeah, my assault team as well. They already have 2 tanks spawned. So I can't spawn another one of my own. In this situation, you could spawn on any other member of your assault team who has a tank. So I could spawn into one of theirs and just spawn as their gunner. I don't think I want to. I kind of want to wait for one of them to die. Then it'll open up a tank spot for me and I could just spawn in my own tank. Another cool little feature is if you click on one of the spawn points, it'll zoom in and it's actually a real-time overhead view of that area. So this is actually what's going on in those spots that these guys are. So kind of like mobile view areas. You can't look around much in them. You can just kind of see what's there. Which is not much. What else you can do if your assault team isn't letting you spawn yet, you can switch over to a different one. I also have an infantry soldier, like I said earlier, so I'm gonna switch my assault team to an infantry one, and that should be able, there we go, should be able to spawn my infantry guy in. He has the jeep. All right, so I'll show you a bit of this. I think there's enemies around. Oh fuck. Okay. All right, so obviously one enemy there. Well, he just killed that guy. I'll circle around. Another guy just got taken out. Alright, so they're trying to take back X1. Let's see if I can grab this. Oh, fuck. Alright. So we're safe, and my buddies are currently taking the last objective. There we go. And again, this is NorthRanger. This is my first video on Heroes and Generals. So I showed you a bunch of armored gameplay, a little bit of infantry at the end, and next time I'll have a lot more to show you. Feel free to subscribe, give this video a like, shoot me any comments. If you want to request anything, if there's anything more you want to see of Heroes and Generals or any other game, just let me know. Thanks. Have a good one.